Good evening, everyone. I just want to say hi. And hi to everybody who's watching on Facebook. So I'm going to talk to everyone who's here for the meeting. Thanks for coming. And also welcome people who are watching on Facebook. Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen, and I'm here at Green Mountain Power's St. Johnsbury District Office. We have about 15 of these district offices around the state, and we're so lucky to have several of the crews who work out of here who came here with their family to answer questions and to be here. So thank you for coming. And most importantly, I want to thank, we have a nice turnout of folks who have turned out on this nice Vermont February evening to ask some questions as well and just have conversation with us. So thank you for coming. So also want to invite people who might be scrolling by when they got home from work and see us on Facebook. If you have any questions of Green Mountain Power, you have a lot of folks here who can help answer your questions. So tonight's meeting, just to level set what it's about, Green Mountain Power filed for and got a multi-year regulation plan, and that is a 3-year plan to keep rates low and stable for customers and control costs in this time of great change, and especially what we're seeing in terms of storm severity, which I can look at the guys here and see that we are seeing a lot of storms and damage from storms, and how are we proactively addressing those storms. And as part of filing that multi-year regulation plan, we said that we would love to hear from the public, which is why we're here in St. Johnsbury tonight, both live in person and live on Facebook, and give people a chance twice a year to go to a different district around the state, one in the north, one in the south. Tonight we're in the Kingdom. We did one this summer, and we'll do another one. So if you want us to come to your community to engage, ask and answer any questions to us, we would love to do that. And so this is our meeting as part of that multi-year regulation plan. So again, welcome. Feel free to ask any questions you have. I want to turn it over now to Josh Castingay, who leads our engineering, power supply, and innovation team, because one of the things that we're really thinking about as we think about resiliency and reliability for the customers we serve is how to do it in a way that's affordable and cost-effective for all, but also leverages innovation, which is what Josh, which is what Josh, oh, see, we're the same size, which is what Josh thinks about.
Where am I?
I don't know. I think you're there. Oh, it's delayed, so don't look at that. But this is what Josh thinks about all the time. So I'm going to turn it over to Josh. You do. You think about it a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Other when you're drumming or with your kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And skiing and hockey.
Yeah, all of those things.
Yeah. So Josh, thank you very much for being here. And again, thank you to everyone for turning out.
Thanks a lot. So again, I'm Josh Castingay. I lead our innovation, engineering, and the power supply function at GMP. And so I'm just going to hit on some of the work, mostly focused on the innovation work. As Kristen said, as part of the multi-year regulation plan, we incorporated a lot of components related to innovation for customers. This is, from what we've seen, one of the first plans that actually makes it a core part of everything we do, from doing battery storage I'll talk about, to decarbonizing transportation and everything in between. So a big driver of that has been building on some of the successful programs that we've run over the last few years. We were one of the first utilities to partner with Tesla to do some home battery storage. And since then, I think we've deployed about over 2,000 battery systems in customers' homes, both with Tesla along with some other partners in Vermont that have done systems with customers. And during storm events, those batteries have helped customers ride through pretty significant outages. I think in this last Halloween, we had a pretty nasty storm in Vermont, and we had something like 1,500 or 1,700 customers ride through their events, 10,000 hours of backup power, because of the storage that they had deployed. So those are all types of things that we've been able to partner with stakeholders in Vermont to help offer through these programs. We're also doing a lot on the transportation side. So If folks don't know, GMP has incentives to help people go electrify their transportation, get EVs, plug-in hybrids. The state also has rolled out some incentives. We have some information on our website, and I believe the state does as well on theirs. And so in addition to the incentives, we also give customers that get a new EV a level 2 charger to take home. And for folks that don't know, it's basically a charger that goes at home and helps charge EVs just a lot quicker than plugging into the wall. And that's free when you get a new EV in Vermont. Also around home heating and stuff, we've done a lot of work around heat pumps and helping to make heat pumps a new system in Vermont for home heating and cooling in the summertime. We have incentives for folks that want to transition to heat pumps. Again, you can go to our website, you can go to Efficiency Vermont's website. There's a few locations there to check those things out. So part of our multi-year regulation plan also incorporated a number of metrics that we want to track on behalf of customers that's related to how much distributed generation are we building in Vermont, how fast are we interconnecting new systems, how many EVs are we plugging in, how many new public charging stations are being built. Those are all things that we're going to be tracking as part of this plan. We're in the first quarter of the new multi-year reg plan, so we're just starting to pull it together, and basically we report on it each year, so folks can be looking for that or can ask questions about that stuff anytime, and that will show, the progress that we're making with customers on a lot of this work. So I think with that, I guess I'll kick it over to Brian here in a second. We can do questions at the end or in real time or whatever at the end. So part of the work that we're doing, especially in the battery systems, is thinking always about how we're going to make the grid more resilient in the face of more storms, more weather impacts from climate change. And so I'm going to kick it over to Brian Otley, our COO, to talk about our climate plan and the work we're doing around resiliency. Thanks, man. Your turn.
Thanks, man. So I'm going to try to compete with some of the cutest little girls I've ever seen. We're eating barbecue right now and having a good time. So as part of our... Timing's everything, right? Oh, come on. You can't hear me, can you? What? You can hear? Okay. I got the thumbs up from the TV guy. So, you got it?
Might be this control up here.
All right. As part of our multi-year plan, one of the elements we talked about was, as Josh alluded to, focusing a lot more on how do we harden our grid, and make it more resilient in the face of climate change. So, interesting statistic. What are the two things that threaten our system the most and knock out power the most? First, by far, is weather. Second is crazy people driving cars too fast. So the one thing we can do something about is trying to get the system hardened in advance of what we see as worsening weather conditions. So on January 31st, we filed a plan with the Commission that describes a set of projects we are recommending we undertake to make our system more resilient in the face of the climate change impacts that we're seeing year over year, which is also important as the state electrifies more and more of its energy use to get off of fossil fuel. So the types of projects we're recommending have to do with strengthening some of our transmission and distribution lines and taking substations that may have been placed in floodplains, 70 years ago and moving them out of floodplains. Doing things on our hydroelectric dams to make them safer during high precipitation weather events, as well as doing things like Josh talked about with battery and storage systems so that customers, even if the local grid is out, they can ride through those events without having any inconvenience and any loss of power. So we filed a plan in January. We'll be going through a process. We've met with probably 12 or 15 local communities to talk about resilience planning and match up what we're doing with what they're doing at the town level, whether it's with the fire department, emergency responders, highway and road crews, and things like that. So this is going to be a big element of our work going forward. The climate crisis is not only is it here, but it's hitting us regularly now. And we, based on all the expert forecasts, we expect conditions to get worse. So we're trying to accelerate some of our hardening projects and our resiliency projects to stay ahead of that and to continue to provide excellent power and excellent service to our customers. So that's the 101 once over lightly on that. I am going to flip it back to Kristen Carlson, who's our MC.
All right, thanks, Brian. So we do have a fan system, as people can probably tell on Facebook. We're inside one of the district offices, which is a garage in St. Johnsbury. This is where the line trucks are, which is where the crews come every day to get the gear to head out to work on the system every day. And so there is a fan system, so we apologize if you're having a hard time hearing us out in Facebook, or even more importantly, if you're having a hard time hearing us here. So hopefully we're able to engage with people while we were here a little bit before we went live on Facebook. But if you are scrolling by on Facebook, I'm Kristen. I work at Green Mountain Power. We're here tonight to answer any questions you might have. We have several folks who are here from engineering, power supply, operations, line department, to answer questions you might have. And we have folks who have turned out tonight, so thank you for coming tonight. And now the fan is turning off, so thankfully now you can maybe hear me. So we're going to repeat everything. But the gist is that we're here to answer your questions. You saw the public notice, you heard what we're up to, and so I want to look on Facebook, see if we have any questions, and then also importantly, if there's anyone here who wants to say anything. All right. Let me go look one more time on Facebook. Again, if you're just scrolling by and you're wondering, I'm Kristen from Green Mountain Power. We are here in St. Johnsbury, one of the district offices, and we're answering questions people might have as part of our multi-year regulation plan. We hold these just public listening sessions and informational sessions probably about twice a year. But if you're watching this after the fact and it's not live, you can still post your questions. You can still reach out to us anytime. We're always happy to meet with customers wherever you're at, to come to your community if you have a question. You can also post it on Facebook, and we're going to scroll back through and answer them. But it looks like, going once, going twice. All right, well, thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it, and we will stick around to answer any questions folks might have. Thank you.